Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And I want you to pay attention because I'm going to say something and I want it to absolutely sink in. And even if you're an SNP supporter, you need to hear this because this will be one of the most frightening things you've ever heard. Angus Robertson has come out and confirmed that should Scotland become an independent country, it would enshrine in law a commitment to 0.7% of GDP to be spent on foreign aid. What does that mean? What's that mean in real terms? Well, it means that over the course of the first 5 years, effectively the first government of an independent Scotland, first parliament of an independent Scotland, they would be committed to spending £6 billion on foreign aid. Now remember, this is a country whose NHS is falling apart, whose schools are now worse than some third world countries, that has the worst drug deaths in Europe, that has virtually no social care left, that has transport problems, infrastructure problems, roads you can't drive over. And yet Angus Robertson says, hey, let's just not bother with sorting that out and let's give £6,000 million to foreign countries that have contributed nothing. That is the true cost of voting for the SNP. Now, it is lunacy. Let's take a look to see why Angus Robertson thinks that the people of Scotland want this. Here goes. Imagine, if you will, you've taken your child to hospital and the hospital say, sorry, we can't help. The waiting list is too long, and even if we could, chances are, because we can't get an oncologist hired, that your child is going to die of cancer. But don't worry, because we've given over £150,000 to pay a doctor in Somalia. And there's the £7 million is building a new hospital in Lagos. You know, can't build a hospital in Fort William, but hey, here's £6 billion to the rest of the world. Are you still going to vote SNP when your child's lying there dying of cancer and fat wankers like Angus Robertson are going, look at me, look how virtuous I am, as I'm pissing money all over the world to pretend that I'm important? What a virtue signalling dick the man truly is. Sort your own house out first before trying to fix your neighbours. Angus Robertson's foreign aid pledge would have cost £6 billion in just 5 years. The External Affairs Secretary says Scotland would join the Scandinavian countries as the world's biggest foreign aid donors. The difference is with the Scandinavian countries is they can afford it. But the cost to the Scottish taxpayers would be astronomical. And look at him. What a loathsome creature he is. He's got no concern for the people of Scotland. The Scottish Government's flagship pledge on overseas aid would cost the taxpayer £6 billion over 5 years. The SNP confirmed on Monday that a commitment to pay 0.7% of gross national income would be enshrined in law. Although this has been repeated several times before, the latest independence paper sets out more details of how Skexit Scotland would compare with other countries. It says that 2021 GNI figures, Scotland would be a mid-sized donor in the Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development, the Donor Assistance Committee rankings. Why? Why did you want to be that? Why are you thinking it's better for us? We get more brownie points or something by giving this money away. Meanwhile, our own people are starving, uneducated, dying because they can't get into a hospital. And even if they could, the ambulance can't get there because the roads are so bad it would break it. And then this oafish fool sits there and goes, oh, just to piss money away on Johnny Foreigner. It suggests that Scotland would have paid 1.6 million in 2021, on these figures, behind the likes of Denmark, Norway and Sweden, all of whom are significantly bigger and richer than Scotland. The UK government also set the 0.7% target into law in 2015 before reducing the commitment to 0.5% in 2021 because it couldn't afford it. The UK, which paid 15 billion, and don't even get me started on this in 2021, we shouldn't be paying any, nil. Not until we've paid off all our national debt, sorted out all our infrastructure. Once all our country's right, then we may start looking maybe at helping others. It was way ahead of most other nations. Why? You're not getting, these points don't mean anything. Nobody sits there and goes, oh, look at Britain, oh yes, what are we getting from it? Prestige, screw prestige. I want an NHS that works, you know. Anyway, the Scottish Express analysed the Scottish Government's own GNI figures, which is defined as the total amount of money earned by peoples, nations and businesses over the past 5 years to see what the monies would have been. It adds up to a notional 5.738 billion pounds. And it's 1.196 in 2021, 1.105 1.1 billion, 1.2 billion, 1.1 billion, 1.1 billion. Billions. £6 billion. It could have paid for 7 hospitals equal to the QEUH in Glasgow. 7 hospitals. They're trying to build one in Fort William, and that's falling through. But Tosspot wants to piss away money like that. Anyway, it could have built 4 bridges like the Queensferry ferry crossing. There's so much you could have done. You could have fixed every damn pothole on every damn road in the whole of Scotland. External Affairs Secretary Angus proclaimed ultimately independence would enable Scotland to determine the kind of state it wants to be on the world stage. It's not up to the SNP to determine that. Surely it should be up to the people of Scotland to determine that. And the Scottish Government said similar sized like-minded countries such as Sweden, Norway, Finland or Ireland rank highly on indices of aid effectiveness. But tell me this, Angus, what good do they get from it? What is the benefit to the people of those countries? There is no benefit. If you truly want to spend 6 billion wisely, build a big fence and keep the foreigners out. Build a bigger navy and stop them coming across the channel. That's the best use of this money. Anyway, the fact the UK was 7th in the Commitment to Development Index, shamefully high. In a table of 39, when you look at how bad our infrastructure is, and then they're sitting there going, oh yes, but we're making a virtue out of doing this, this and this and this. Sort this country out first. Clear all our national debts. Number 1. Number 2, sort out the infrastructure. Number 3, make the NHS work. Number 4, secure the borders. Keep people out who shouldn't come in and kick people out who are here illegally. And don't ask questions like, oh, but if he might get persecuted. Don't give a shit if he gets persecuted. Go back and change the system at home. Don't come over here and destroy our culture. If you want to come in through legal means. That's fine. Nobody's stopping you attempting to come in through legal means. It's the illegals that's the problem. Do you know in America, sorry, an aside here, if I wanted to go and live in America, they'd take me overnight. Yeah, take me overnight. 2 conditions. Since I'm coming from Britain, and it's therefore not a state that I can claim asylum from, I either have to come in as an investor, in which case I need to invest at least £1 million into a business in the United States, or I come in as someone who's willing to serve public service, basically. If I want to go in, I can get vetted and join the American military, for example. There's several ways in, but generally the easiest way for me would be to sell up everything I've got, try and raise £1 million, and then go in and say, buy a business, buy a plumbers or something. I've got to hire the equivalency of, I think it's 6 employees or something. And you can do that, and then you go in, you get your thing. But you buy your way in. You know, they don't want you coming in as a drain on their society. It's the same as Australia. When you go to Australia, you've got to show that you've got enough money to last and that you're not going to be a drain on the Australian state. Quite right too. And why can't we adopt similar policies? Why is this country so scared of standing up and saying no? Why can we not have politicians with balls? Who knows? But when you got him, the oath, Airmiles Angus sitting there going, oh, yes, we're going to give lots and lots of money. The only reason he wants to give lots of money in aid is so he can get on a plane and fly around the world showing where the aid is going. Because he don't half love his flights. First class. Champers. Wanker. Coming up. The one thing the SNP will never do is ask the people. They will never ask the people of Scotland, do you want me to do this and spend £6 billion of your money on foreign aid over the next 5 years? They won't do that because they know full well what the answer will be. And the answer will be, oi, no, don't. Spend it on us. Fix all the shit that you've broken before you start giving it away to other people who've done bugger all for this country. But they'll never ever ask that. No government ever will. No government will ever ask its people whether we should have foreign aid. But virtually everyone says no, not until you've sorted your own problems out. And they know it. Anyway, I shall stop there. Thank you very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and I will speak to you later. Bye.